For weeks, something had been stirring inside me, as if a revelation were close, but still hidden. It was like looking for a key without knowing which door it would open, until an unusual event lifted the veil. It was no coincidence. I had to go far, literally and spiritually, to discover a secret so powerful that it alters the body, mind, and destiny. But what can actually transform every cell in your body, accelerate your mind, fulfill your hidden desires, and multiply your chances of success in school or at work? And why isn't something so incredible in the newspapers, on the news, or in school curricula? The answer is surprising, because it doesn't belong to the ordinary world. It is subtle, ancient, and protected by those who truly understand its value. And that is why this story must be told with care. It all started with an unexpected trip. Rishikesh, a city known as the birthplace of yoga and Vedic wisdom, was the destination. But it wasn't spiritual tourism. It was a calling. I was invited by Neelmani Pandey, an acquaintance of mine who lives in the Tapovan district. His knowledge of astrology, the Vedas, and Tantra did not come from books or social media. It was passed down directly from silent and rigorous masters. Pandey had always been reserved. He didn't call himself a guru, nor did he consult charts for anyone. He was, according to himself, just a seeker, but one with direct access to ancient knowledge. When he extended the invitation, he said that if I was ready, he would take me to someone special, a true master. I agreed. 15 kilometers of winding road separated us from the ashram. The drive through the mountains took about an hour. Each turn seemed to push my old world further away and make room for what was to come. Upon arrival, the silence of the place spoke louder than any explanation. We were greeted by a man with a steady gaze, simple clothes, and an intense presence. He was the master. Pandey had already told him about me. He knew I wasn't just a curious visitor, so we were allowed to enter and sit down. The conversation began between the two of them, touching on meditation practices and the purpose of yoga. Meanwhile, my mind was racing in another direction. I knew that the man before me was no ordinary person. His energy filled the entire space. While the two were talking, he looked directly at me, as if he knew exactly why I was there. And then he said something that sent a chill down my spine. What you seek is not simple. It takes many years to get here. If you don't have patience, you can leave now. My hands were sweating. I thought about backing out, but I stood my ground. I replied that I wanted to understand, and that was why I was there. He was silent for several long seconds. Time seemed to stand still until he asked me what I did. I answered honestly. I teach people how to live better. He smiled as if silently approving. That's rare, he murmured. That's why I'm going to show you something that few people know about. A method capable of transforming any human being. Your body, your energy field, your mind, everything will be changed. I tried to hide my disbelief. Does it really work? I asked. He nodded. Yes, but it takes discipline, commitment, and above all, respect for the rules. The master explained that this ancient practice has immediate effects. In a few days, the body awakens. Energy begins to flow more intensely. People report visible physical changes, more energy, enhanced beauty, personal magnetism. The mind, in turn, enters a state of clarity. Thoughts that were previously foggy become clear. Decisions become simple. Intuition becomes more refined. And most impressively, the deepest desires that lie in the subconscious begin to emerge and come true. According to him, it is as if the technique unlocks hidden codes within the self, direct access to the very source of manifestation. An inner portal. Pandey, who was standing next to me, confirmed everything with real stories. He said he shared the method with some of his students. In just 2 weeks, They reported new sensations, positive chills, vibrations in the center of their chests, lucid dreams, and even concrete answers in real life. Imagine the impact after 30 days. The master continued. There are also social effects. The image you project changes. People start to notice you. Your identity is strengthened. Your presence makes an impact. And for students, the effect is even more special. Increased concentration, memory, and ease in absorbing knowledge. The mind behaves like a state-of-the-art computer, he said calmly. It was surreal, but there was something even more serious, the rules. Before applying it, you must understand the principles. Without that, everything loses its meaning. And it was there at that moment that I realized this was not just any technique. It was a bridge between the visible and invisible worlds. A knowledge that demands respect and, above all, emotional preparation. At the end of that afternoon in Rishikesh, the master gave me a notebook. Inside, there were only 7 words. And the instruction, read this every day before going to sleep. For 7 days. Then come back. Little did I know that those 7 days would change everything I thought about myself. The master wasted no time in warning me. This was not just a practice. It was a commitment to the essence of existence. If you don't understand the rules, he said, none of this will work. Knowledge closes itself off to those who treat it with haste or disrespect. This was no ordinary technique. According to the guru, it was linked to the very foundation of the spiritual body, an ancient force associated with the energy of Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, and the protective fury of Mother Kali, the goddess of transformation. It was a living science, not a belief. The instruction was clear. If done correctly, the effects would touch time itself. Age doesn't matter, he said. The body can remain young and strong. Vitality is regenerated, and natural magnetism increases. It is the basis of everything. His tone was calm, but charged with something almost sacred. We're talking about the Muladhara, he explained. The name sounded like a riddle, but the master explained that this chakra, ignored or misunderstood by many, was the pillar that supported all other energy centers. What people usually say about it, he continued, comes from those who have never had the courage to truly activate it. Many believe that it awakens with light meditation or simple concentration. This is a mistake. It requires precise action and the right timing. It's like planting a rare seed. Without the right moment and the right soil, it will never germinate. As the master spoke, everything around me seemed to slow down. This chakra, he said, uses Amrita, the substance of immortality, which flows from the pineal gland when certain internal conditions are activated. It is this nectar that preserves youth and restores vigor. It was as if the secret of longevity, beauty, and strength was there, hidden in the most overlooked part of the human body. But why was Muladhara so special? Because it is the starting point, the foundation of the house. It all starts there, said the guru. When spins correctly, energy rises through the inner legs to the top of the spine. But if it weakens, the person feels sadness for no reason, apathy, deep anguish. It was fascinating. The base chakra controlled mood, strength, even proper digestion. If it is out of balance, your body becomes fragile. Your mind becomes disorganized. Your will becomes weak. The guru continued. The name Muladhara means root base. It is directly connected to the element earth. It represents stability, security, permanence. When it is in harmony, you feel confident, centered. But when there's a blockage, fear, doubt, and a feeling of being lost arise. What impressed me most was the symbolism behind this energy center. Its image is a 7-legged elephant, said the master. It is not just any animal. In ancient tradition, it carries the pillars of knowledge, prosperity, and sacred memory. 7 legs, 7 foundations, 7 forces of the earth. Each leg represents an essential aspect of human life: courage, faith, discipline, awareness, balance, love, and truth. When they rotate in harmony, they unblock all paths. Ancient Indian stories spoke of the elephant as a symbol of wealth and wisdom, an animal that bows to no one, but follows those who understand its essence. To see this elephant in a dream is a blessing. It represents the beginning of a journey of power, not the power of the ego, but the power of interconnection. Another element caught my attention: the sacred sound that represents it. The Bija mantra of Muladhara is LM, explained the guru, a grounding sound. When repeated with intention, it activates the base frequency and dissipates ancestral blockages. At that moment, I understood that this went beyond chakras, colors, or mantras. It was a reunion with nature itself. Everything that sustains you begins here, he concluded. A misaligned chakra makes you change jobs all the time, feel lost, insecure, running away from yourself. But when the root is firm, you become unshakable. According to the master, the energy of Muladhara is so powerful that, when awakened correctly, it opens the door to the subconscious. It's like finding a locked safe inside yourself and finally having the key. Those who activate the Muladhara begin to perceive the world differently. Anxiety disappears, fear vanishes, and the body vibrates with strength. What's more, outer beauty aligns with inner beauty. The guru concluded with a warning. But be careful. This power also awakens old pains. Emotions that were hidden may come to the surface. It is a process of deep healing. First comes the light, but before that, the shadows must be seen. Then he looked me in the eyes and said, "Are you ready to begin?" I just nodded, feeling that this was the beginning of an irreversible transformation. The master stared intently at the point between the earth and the body. His countenance was serene, but it carried the intensity of someone who holds something too powerful to be given away indiscriminately. What you are about to hear, he said, transforms the basis of existence. The Muladhara is not just an energy center, it is the boundary between what we were and what we can be. The frequency that vibrates in this chakra is represented by the primordial sound Alayam. It is not just a sound, it is a vibrational code that echoes between 4 symbolic bridges: the heart, the rational mind, the higher consciousness, and the ego. These 4 pillars, explained the guru, balance the original intention of life. They decide whether you walk as a spiritual being or merely survive as an instinctive animal. Shiva, in this context, takes on the role of guardian of awakening. Here he is not only the god of destruction, added the master, but the lord of mental freedom. He presents himself as Pashupati, the one who rules over the most primitive instincts. Alongside Shiva, 2 forces are at work. One is disruptive energy, known as Asuri, which agitates, destroys, and moves. The other is Devi, the creative, unifying, and transforming aspect. Wisdom lies in understanding that both dwell within you. When balanced, they activate the true power of Muladhara. This chakra also awakens heightened sensory perceptions, especially related to smell. The nose begins to identify previously imperceptible smells, and subtle sounds become clear, revealed the guru. It's as if the world has gained a new layer of reality. The color attributed to Muladhara is vibrant pink. Contrary to what many people think, this color does not symbolize fragility, but rather the life force, the spark of energy that keeps everything alive, he said. It is the color of the energetic foundation of existence. The sacred symbol associated with this chakra is the earth. That is why its activation point is located in the perineum, explained the master. A point ignored by many, but essential for the balance of the physical and subtle body. Ancient practices such as Kaya Kalpa originate precisely at this point. Kaya means body. Kalpa means longevity. This is the secret behind the vitality of the ancient sages, who lived for centuries without losing their vigor. The master paused and then continued. When the perineum is aligned, a person gains stability, not only physically, but also emotionally. They are not easily shaken. They face loss with courage. They transform sadness into strength. He continued, if this chakra is weak, fear dominates, decisions waver, and health deteriorates. But when it is strengthened, life flourishes with stability, beauty, and longevity. Finally, he shared what I had kept silent for so long. The activation mantra is LAM. Just that. Don't mix it with other sounds. Repeat it mentally, firmly, and consistently. Once a day, always in the silence of the mind. And he concluded, you don't have to believe it. Just practice it. Because the real miracle happens when the foundation meets the spirit, and everything you desire begins to happen. The last instruction was simple but non-negotiable. Wake up before sunrise. That is the purest moment of the day, said the master, when the earth is still silent and the mind is more open to the invisible. The recommended time was between 5 and 6 in the morning. During this time, all you had to do was sit in silence, eyes closed, breathing calmly, and begin mentally repeating the mantra LAM. Nothing else. No complicated rituals, no mandatory instruments. Just firm intention and unwavering discipline. Do this for 35 days in a row, without interruption, he warned. Don't skip a single day. No prayer beads, special clothing, or accessories were necessary. The sound should echo internally, only in the mind. The more repetitions, the better. There was no minimum or maximum number. The secret was frequency and commitment. Ideally, one should not go back to sleep immediately after the practice. Get up, move around, go live your day with this energy activated, recommended the master. And then came the final revelation. Starting on the 15th day, subtle changes will begin to appear. Some will feel a slight warmth in their bodies. Others will notice more energy. Some will experience vivid dreams or a mental clarity they have never felt before. These signs are not a coincidence. They are the body's response to the awakening of the energy base. The Muladhara chakra begins to align and release ancient codes stored in the unconscious, preparing the body and mind to live with more balance, courage, and presence. That is the secret. Simple, powerful, and accessible to everyone. The more you do it, the greater the effects, concluded the master. This can be practiced throughout your entire life. At the end of that conversation, I thanked him deeply. The journey had been revealed. The complete process was now within reach of anyone ready to take charge of their own power. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you is awakening. Now it's your turn. Enjoy this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more transformative teachings like this one. Thank you for watching. May your awakening be gentle, profound, and true.